Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the week of August 2nd. Now Virgo, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not. Also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, Virgo, do understand as well, the only place you can get any of my products and services is my website, zaneintuitive.com. Make sure you're using the link below, and I'll never ask you for money or a reading, anything like that. I've also launched a Patreon, so if you want to support the journey on a deeper level and get some exclusive perks, you can check that out. And lastly, I do daily content on my Instagram, so if that is your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Now, if this message resonates, please do consider hitting that like button so other people can see the video. Subscribe for future updates and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Do stick around to the end as well, that we do another 9 cards and also clarify with some oracle messages. But let's see what we have here for you, Virgo. And as always, I like to make sure everything is in view. And I think that looks good enough to me. Energy on the bottom. You have the Seven of Wands, potentially dealing with some competition right now. The thing about the Seven of Wands is it does suggest to me that you've been successful, because the card that comes before it is the Six of Wands, which is a big victory. And now people want what you have. And so you're now being called on and asked to defend your position here. Not a time to let go. Stand your ground, okay? Stand your ground, especially if this is a deeply held conviction of yours. Not a time to let go. And so, there are cases, especially in the tarot and in life, where you have to let go. But at this point with this Seven of Wands, it's like you're defending something here. And competition is a challenging energy because it propels us to do amazing things as humans, but it also brings out the worst in us. And so I feel like you're kind of dealing with that at this point. You have this Four of Swords here in the middle, which is rest. So, I feel like you should take time to contemplate what this really means for you, why this competition's coming up in your life, why this is coming in for review for you. And the thing is here, Four of Swords is sort of like, you could kind of say it's like the calm before the storm. I would also say, at this point, you may be getting messages internally about how to handle any sort of conflict, because there is a conflict here. It could be internal, it could mostly be internal, but there could be a conflict with someone here in this week. And, if you feel like you're not doing anything wrong, and if that's truly the case, then take time to retreat and recharge and see what messages come through for you around that. And so we have this, Four of Swords is also a card of healing. And so we have this healing message here in the middle. Interestingly enough, you have 3 into 4. Some of you could be healing a heartbreak, okay? And it's interesting, you have 3 of Swords and a 4 of Swords into the Ace of Cups diagonal. Really getting past this previous relationship here, we'll just go ahead and start with this 3 of Swords, could really lead you to someone new in this week ahead, or in the month of August. 3 of Swords, heartbreaking situation. This is very oftentimes someone, breaking up, divorcing, separating. But it's also, there are other heartbreaking situations in life as well. Overhearing someone gossip about you or talk about you in the workplace, things getting severed or being let go from a job is heartbreaking for a lot of people. And so I'm not suggesting that that's happening here, but I'm suggesting there could just be a heartbreak situation in your life that you're trying to let go of in this week. Now, you have the Strength card. Strength is energy. This is the card, if you just put the concept of energy into a card, that's what the Strength card is. Because it can indicate like a big burst of like an outburst potentially in the shadow. Like if you would read the reverse version of this, it would be like a big outburst. And so for some of you, I feel like you're being called on to really have courage over someone, and there could be the sort of makings of a conflict coming in here for you. You have judgment as long as this is the card of karma. And so, you will truly get the outcome you deserve here. You will really receive the benefits if you have acted with integrity. Judgment's an awakening, a rebirth. It's a very good card to get. It's a very strongly spiritual card. It's sort of like an angel here coming down and giving you a judgment, or the universe, whatever you resonate with. And then you have this Five of Wands as well. This is a conflict. This is where I'm talking about here, where you can see the people sparring here. And so the thing is, this lower row is subconscious. It's the internal. And so I oftentimes do read it as like an internal conflict. However, for you, there's also this message of a competition coming in, especially with the strength. Maybe you're competing with somebody, and that could certainly be it, and it's causing some inner turmoil here. But I think maybe for most of you, there's maybe just a conflict with somebody in your life. I get the sense here. So moving forward here, you have the Chariot above. Thing is, there's a victory on your mind. You can see light at the end of the tunnel for you. The Chariot is self-discipline that brings about strong victory here. And so, it's all this idea of as above, so below. With the sun on the top of the canopy, as it is done in the universe, it is done down here. And so for you, it's like, are you putting in the work? I do feel like you are. In fact, I feel like almost like there's this period of rest here that's coming in. And so, especially with the Judgment card, the work here, you're getting a karmic reward with the Judgment. You're getting a karmic reward for a job well done and for being self-disciplined. I do feel like there's maybe a spiritual test developing here, which could come in the form of competition. You have the Devil in the future. This could be greed. It could be... It could just be the shadow side here of yourself. The devil is your shadow. It comes forward when there's, a light that needs to be shined on something that you need to change. And no one's perfect, okay? No one's perfect. Everybody has something to work on in this lifetime. And that's really what the devil represents. So it could be anything. It could mean that you are working too hard, although... I actually think the devil's showing up here because I feel like the spiritual test that I'm picking up on is your ability to handle this competition with maturity. It's really easy to just like have an outburst, but if you can handle it with maturity, that's like huge. So you have this Page of Swords here as well. Disappointing news. Actually, what I feel like is going on here is you're dealing with a very immature person. I feel like that's what's happening here with that Page of Swords, and they're quite intelligent, but they're immature. Like, they might be good at arguing, but like they're saying ridiculous things, something like that. I'm getting that sort of message. Can be news of delays or disappointments or curiosity, but I feel like I'm getting this message of you're dealing with a competitive, immature person. And then you have the Ace of Cups as well. New love, if you can handle, it's almost like if you pass the test, if you pass the spiritual test, there's a new person coming in that's probably a lot more mature for you. But let's continue forward here and see what else we have. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. It helps get the word out and spread the message to others. There's also a bell below this video. If you click that bell, you will never miss an update from me. And lastly, Virgo, appreciate you being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Hope things are going well. Hope things are good for you. All right. Let's see what we have here. Lady Portia, divine order, do what you feel is right, an important lesson is unfolding. What did I just say? Spiritual test, aka lesson. There's a lesson coming down here for you from the universe, from the angels, the heaven, whatever you believe in. Divine order, this is a card that says the divine law and order is on your side. Okay, if you are acting with integrity, Lady Portia is like, we got you. We got you. Everything's going to work out. You have charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. Time to go into meditation and quiet prayer, whatever you want to do with this Four of Swords coming in. Taking time to do something for yourself here. And this is offering you an opportunity to ascend with Serapis Bay Ascension. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. I believe from the Oracle, the author of this deck, it's like Serapis Bay is like sort of this gateway keeper, this like gatekeeper who will like hand you the key when you're getting ready to ascend to like a new thought form or a new vibration, something like that. Very spiritual message that we're getting here, all about passing some sort of test that's going to lead to ascension. And it's a lesson for you. Lessons come up as spiritual tests from what I've experienced in my own life. And so, yeah, definitely feel like this is what's happening here, Virgo. So let's see what else we have. Now, I've already said that. So, yeah, I was about to get into my own thing there, but hold on. Let's see what we get here. All right. Oh, that card wants to come out, so let's take it. Four of Cups, yeah. King of Wands, like to see that. Eight of Cups, walking away from a disappointing situation. Knight of Cups. Yeah, some of you are either just walking away from a disappointing person, immature person, or a job situation. Four of Cups, popping out here, that's telling you that there's an alternative solution. There's an alternative cup. I think it's for you, double fours here. It's going to be found through stabilizing your energy, taking time to commune, realizing that divine law and order is on your side. You've probably acted with integrity here. You're walking away from the disappointment. And, sometimes the best answer is silence instead of with the Strength card under it. Sometimes the best answer is silence instead of starting a fight. And I feel like that's what's going on here, because the Strength card, big Leo energy, but just very strong energy in general. You can start a fight under the Strength energy. And, Knight of Cups, it's like if you pass this test, this karmic test, this lesson, there's a new person coming in. That's sort of the message. King of Wands, very passionate here. Passionate situation. It's the entrepreneur as well in the tarot. But we'll see how that wraps back into this reading. You have the Five of Swords. Six of Wands, love to see that. And the Five of Pentacles with the Five of Wands. I feel like for you, the reason you haven't left your job or your organization is there's this internal conflict around scarcity, which is totally normal. It's not easy to just take leaps of faith when you're not sure how you're going to make it. I'm not trying to encourage anyone to put themselves in a difficult position financially, so let's just be very clear about that. Not telling you to do that, but I'm saying I feel like the internal conflict here, if it is an internal conflict, is around scarcity. I also feel like maybe it's just around being alone if you haven't left that situation yet, that person, if you're here for relationships. But Six of Wands, victory and success. Like I said, you had that 7 there. Some people are seeing these wins that are stacking up for you, and maybe they're not, unfortunately for them. And then the Five of Swords, we have 5 fives, I think, here. 5 of Wands, Pentacles, and Swords. So big change. 555 is change happening. You have the Lovers, King of Swords, Chariot coming in again. Yeah, there's a almost like there's a reward or something like that at the end of the rainbow or tunnel or whatever you want to say. It's like if you can pass this test, you have something huge here. Some of you could be traveling to a new city or a new home or a new place, new location, something like that with double chariots for sure. The Chariot, self-discipline. We've already kind of gone through it, but there's a major victory here that's going to bring about happiness with the Ace of Cups underneath it. but you got to stay self-disciplined. Okay, I feel like there's temptation here with the Lovers and the Devil, where it's like there's some sort of temptation, maybe to go back with somebody who is toxic, or to stay in a organization or something like that that you know is not fulfilling. And with the Page of Swords, King of Swords, you're really being called on to cut through with the sword that the king has and all of the swords there. Cut through drama, do what you know is right, and don't let the emotions get in the way. It's easier said than done. But you also have this Ace of Swords, which is major breakthrough, major win, major victory, if you can stay self-disciplined. And so that's the huge message here. There's a reward if you stay disciplined. So let's see what else we have. Wow. Will you pass the test, Virgo? That is the question. Expectation, courthouse, change. Yep, some of you are moving. Mature woman, great fortune, adjudication. Yep, there's like I don't know if it's a literal pot of gold, but there's a reward at the end here. Great fortune is the best card in this oracle deck. And it's around courthouse adjudication, a ruling, a divine ruling. It's, some of you could be in legal situations here, now that I see this with all these swords, especially with the King of Swords showing up, and Lady Portia is also involved with legal situations, according to the author. Courthouse adjudication. But I feel like the adjudication that's coming down is, how do you handle this conflict? Do you handle it with maturity? Do you handle it with immaturity? And there's a change. Some of you are moving, quite literally moving. And, there was expectation that was placed on you in a relationship or at a workplace that was unhealthy, and you're moving into mature situations and mature people. So like this. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, check out my website, consider becoming a Patreon. I'll see you in the next one.